Hello, everyone. Welcome. We'll get started shortly. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, guys. Welcome. We'll get started shortly.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you? Welcome.
Thank you.
We'll get started shortly.
Sounds good. Thank you.
This evening is trading in the zone, trend following, and mindset. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Kawisi, welcome. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Charity, welcome, Charity. Guys, we'll get started shortly. Hey, Bill, welcome, Bill. Welcome.
How you doing?
Hello. We'll get started shortly. This evening is trading in the zone, so mindset, trend following, and trading systems. We'll get started shortly. Hey, Gerald, welcome, Gerald, welcome. Yusef, welcome. We'll get started shortly, guys. We saw Bitcoin hit 20,000. We'll go over that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. All right, as you guys know, on Wednesdays, we do a combination of mindset, following the trends and using our trading systems. So what I'll do, I want to go through some of the highlights of the market, and we'll incorporate all three as we go through the markets. Okay, the big news today was Bitcoin. All right, and as you guys know, we've been watching Bitcoin. It's been in that markdown phase. I went ahead and moved it over to a weekly time frame, right? So although it's in the markdown phase on the daily time frame, we were getting a lot of noise. So we've moved it to the weekly time frame. So we've got a clearer picture. Okay. It made a low. So Bitcoin made a low. Made a low right here on this candle. So this is this week. All right. And it made a low of I believe it was 20,000. I think I saw it at right at 20,500 is where it made a low today. All right. As you guys know, it broke support. So the big 30,000 mark, right, was the level we really needed buyers to come in. Right. So right about here, 30,000. Right, this is a sell short signal right here, right? Consolidated for a while, for about 4 weeks. 4 weeks consolidated right at that 30,000, and then this week broke down. All right, and now it's below 30,000. All right, so we can forget about this 30,000 mark for now. So our target is 10,000. We talked about this the other day, that we don't have any support, right? So we don't have any real support at 20,000. All right. All right. So we've got hey Corliss, welcome. We've got a clear path to about 10,000. Okay. At 10,000, we've got more support at 10,000. Okay. So nice price action to the downside. All right. I know it pulled back today. It's right 22, but that hasn't changed anything, right? Still in the markdown phase. All right. If we can get to 10,000, which I think that's very likely. All right. The next support, and this is why we want to follow the trend. So the trend right now is to the downside. Okay, it's in the markdown phase. All right. All right. Let's see here. All right. The next support area is right about here. So right about, I would say 4,000. All right. So we'll be watching this area. The first area is 10,000. All right, we should expect some consolidation, right? Like right in here. So right in this area in here, like previous consolidation right here, right here. So if the price comes down, right, and if it gets anywhere near 10,000, it will probably get in this area, consolidate a bit. Okay. And then this will be the next major decision for Bitcoin. All right. So if it gets down in this area, hey, Gerald, welcome, which seems very likely, right? This area here. So 10,000 is our next target. All right. 10,000 is our next target. And then we should get some accumulation in that area. All right. And then we'll watch to see what it does from here, right? Whether buyers come back in. All right. Hey, Millie, welcome, to take it higher. All right. Or if it breaks support. Okay. If it breaks that 4,000 or 5,000 mark. All right. And then go lower. Okay. So, this is the move right now. This is the trend right now on Bitcoin. So it's in the markdown phase, downward trend. It's not doing this. All right. So when we talk about trend following, we want to follow the trend. So it's not doing this, right? It's not consolidating. And guys, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right. So it's not consolidating like it did up here, right? Right. It's not range bound like this, right? It's not trending up like this. All right. Now it's in that markdown phase. Okay. So the goal is when this happens, you guys should not be surprised. We've been talking about this. So there shouldn't be any surprise that that we're here with Bitcoin, okay? And there shouldn't be any surprise that our target is 10,000. We've been talking about this. And all we're doing is we're following the price action. So we're following the sellers, all right? So keep that in mind. We don't know how long it will take to get to this area here. We might get some more consolidation, or it can go right through, you know, and just get to that target. Bitcoin moves fast, right? All right. Any questions on this? Any questions?
I have one question. How often have you seen what did you call it again? A unit? It's not a unit. Anyway, something like this, a trend like this, where it started out really low and then really skyrocketed, and then after a while just plummeted either to the same or below where it started out. Like, how often have you seen something like that?
Okay, so where we had consolidation and then it breaks support and then move lower quickly. That's what, is that what you're referring to?
Like where it started out, you know, in that $4,000 to $10,000 range.
2020, she's talking about.
Before, yeah, like 2018, 2000 to 2020.
Okay.
And then just climbing way up to that 60,000 mark, and then back down to, you know, below 10,000. Just kind of like having that kind of a trend. It seems very unusual. So I'm just wondering how often you've seen that.
Oh, all right. This happens quite a bit. Now, Bitcoin is different. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen anything like Bitcoin, right? Where it's moved up quite like that. But I guess the important thing to keep in mind is that the price will do this. They will absolutely do this. Okay, so we can look at different stocks or even currencies, and you will see them, they'll move like this. Just remember, what goes up must come down. All right, they don't go up forever, right? So what goes up must come down. Now, does it mean that it will come back down to the same area? No. All right, but just know that it is really overbought, right? So it's really, really overbought. As traders, our mindset has to be that we need to anticipate this, right? We need to anticipate. That's why we use the 4 market phases, right? So that we are not surprised. We're not buying here. Let's say Charity, for instance, buying in 2018 and just holding, right? And never get out. If we don't get out, we don't take profits, right? So yes, it's great to buy down in this area here, right? And catch the move higher, but we have to get out and take profits, right? Otherwise, the price will come all the way back down. And like I said, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come all the way back down, but they do come back down. All right.
Can you also show the like oversold, overbought diagram again? I forgot what it's called.
Okay, the RSI on you want to see it on Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think we've shown it on Bitcoin. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever seen it on Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it on. We'll do it both on the weekly time frame and then on the daily. So now that's going to be good to look at that when we look to get back in at some point. All right. There will be an opportunity at some point to get back in, just not right now. Hey, Gerald, welcome.
Hey, how we doing?
Good, good. All right, so let's add that, Charity. All right, so here's the RSI. All right, so okay, this is on a weekly time frame, and I would recommend watching it on a weekly time frame now, because we have it's just it's not clear on the daily chart anymore. All right, we have more support, right? We really want to see this support down in here, right? On the daily, you can find the support. All right, so here is where we got really overbought. See all this red here. We got really overbought, which coincides to here, right? So when the price got all the way up here, we got really overbought. All right, so think of price like a rubber band, right? So it got stretched all the way, got moved all the way up. Over here was about, I think it was about 69,000, right? 69,000 on Bitcoin. Okay, so here is where it got really overbought. Okay, and then guess what? Price came down. All right, now we're not quite, we are getting in oversold territory. But we'll know when we oversold, when it's blue. The RSI is blue like this. It is not blue yet. All right, but it is approaching oversold territory. All right, so let's say it gets down to 10,000. That's why we think 10,000 right here. It's a very likely scenario. 10,000, then this will get oversold. Okay. So that's the RSI on the daily, on the weekly rather. All right. When it gets oversold, then we might see buyers come back in. But oversold could mean that it could get to 10,000. It could really get oversold if it get to 4,000, 3,000. Okay. And then we'll see based on the price action, when the buyers come in, we would like to see accumulation, right? Kind of like here, right? Accumulation, buy signal, break resistance, and then move higher. We have a long way to go. Yeah, we have a long way to go for that to happen, right? Because we're still in that markdown phase, lower highs, right? Lower highs, lower lows, right? Lower lows, and we're moving down in that channel. Okay. Hey, Chris, welcome. Okay, so we just have to wait, let the price fall. All right. We almost broke 20,000. All right, we almost broke. All right, it almost got in the 19,000. Okay, so we're not far. So if we draw support, hold on. And the reason why we want to follow this is because we want to understand how things trend and gain confidence in the 4 market phases. Okay, so Charity, do you see that there, the RSI?
Yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if we look here, here is the support. We are not far. When we look at the chart, here is 10,000 here. All right. This line is 10,000. Right. This is where it was at 60,000. We're we are closer to 10,000 than we are to 60,000, almost 70,000. We are not far at all, right? And then if you guys look here, it really comes to life when we put this together, right? If we look to here, 4,000, like I said, next support is 4,000. Between that 10,000 and 4,000, that's not a big range, especially for Bitcoin because it's volatile, right? It really moves, right? So it can get to 10,000, get to 4,000 in a week, right? So so now if it gets, so what you guys, if you guys really want to take positions in Bitcoin, all right, for down the road, okay, for like long term, all right, if you want to do that, you know, we are traders, right? So we still look for buy, but this is what you guys should be doing is hoping that Boyd gets to 10,000, hoping that it accumulates down in this area in here, like so. All right, like so, because we want a deal, right? Like so. And then really hope that it breaks that support at 4,000 and then go even lower, right? And then, you know, see what it does, break resistance, and then start accumulating. All right, so that's the big picture. On the daily time frame, so on the daily time frame, the RSI, let's take a look at that. We might see it oversold on the daily. Let's see here. Daily right here. Yep, it's oversold on the daily. All right, so so Charity on the daily, it's oversold. All right, so it was oversold here on the daily, oversold here on the daily, and it's currently oversold here. All right, so here, this is where on the chart it was oversold, right? Oversold here, and now it's oversold here. All right, so keep in mind, here, this is where it was overbought here. So keep in mind, the one negative thing about RSI is that it can stay in that oversold. Just because it's oversold, that doesn't mean you're gonna get a big move. You might get a, you know, like here, you got a little move up over here, right? From here, you get a little move up. You might get a move up like this, right? Back to that moving average and then continue to go down. So just because it's oversold doesn't mean the selling has stopped. That makes sense, guys? That
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, that's very good.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Hey, David,
So-
if you don't mind me asking, the moving average, is it 13 or 20 or what moving average do you have there?
The moving average, I don't even know. Let me see here anymore. Let's pull it up. You can use different moving averages. We use a very close moving average. So we try to stick close to the price. Let's see here, Yusuf. So we use a 34. So the length is 34. And this is all custom here. But you can use different moving averages. Keep in mind with the moving averages, because I know some traders like to do like a 50-day moving average, a 200-day moving average, all right, especially on the daily time frame. If you guys look here, and I'm glad you asked that, we don't talk about the moving averages a lot. If you guys, if those of you who are using the system, you can add moving averages, but I would be careful Let's say we did a 200-day moving average. Do you use, Yusef, do you use moving averages?
I do. I fluctuate. If I'm trading long term on the daily, I use the 5200. But if I'm on a shorter time frame, like the 1 hour or 30 minutes, I typically use the 1320 moving average.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
But they're not, I mean, I don't use them to as a confluence or anything. It's just to kind of gauge like where the trend is and kind of what things are looking like along
yeah,
with price action. That's kind of what I use it for, but not necessarily to enter or exit a trade.
yeah. A lot of traders, and I've used it in the past. I don't do it anymore. But let's talk about that, right? Because this is trend following, right? So we're trying to identify the trends. So this is a 200-day moving average. 250 is very popular. And here is a 200-day moving average. And what a lot of traders what you will notice is that price it's kind of like you can use it as support. So you can see right in this area here, it kind of shows resistance. All right, so let's see here. All right, so right here, like this is support, our support line right here. All right. All right. Support line, resistance line, and that goes right along with that 200-day moving average. All right. So what a lot of traders will do, they'll use that moving average as resistance. So if the price gets above it, right, gets above it, that's bullish. If it's below it, like right here, it's below that 200-day moving average, it's bearish. Okay. So yeah, you can absolutely use it. We don't use it because we've got our support and resistance lines that are built in, and then we have our signals. But yeah, so Yusuf, we stay closer to the price. So if you look here, and all we do is we look for separation. All right, so like right here. All right, so what we like to do is, let me turn on and we'll do this because so guys, this is how you can set things up on your system. And Chris, we were talking earlier, right? If you want to change your buy and sell signals, Chris, all right. So if you want to change your buy and sell signals, just right click on the chart. All right. Go to studies, edit strategies. Okay. And right here, you see that, Chris? Chris, are you there? All right. But for everyone, Chris is probably on. All right. So yeah, so just you can turn.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I know you were looking to change the your sell signals, buy and sell. So you can change it here. All right, so we're gonna turn on our buys right here. Okay, so now we've got our buy signal here, right? Our sell signal here on the breakout support, sell short here, bought here, all right, and so forth. So what we do, rather than using a very wide moving average, like the 200-day moving average, we stay close to the price. Okay, so we know buy signal here, green candles, we got green candles, right? And then the price is above. So that's our bullish, right? We're bullish in that markup phase. We want the price to stay close right along our moving average. All right, so we keep very close moving average. So green moving average, price is above the green moving average, like here also. That's bullish. We should be buying. That's we're in that markup phase. All right. Once the price gets below this moving average, right? So we keep it very tight, right? So price gets below red candles. Now sellers are in control, right? So green candles, buyers are in control. We are above the green moving average here, right? We below, price is below the red moving average. All right, the red moving average, sales are in control, markdown phase. Okay, markdown phase. You see that, Yusuf?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at it. Yep, I see it.
Yeah, so that's how we
Yeah.
use the moving average. So we
Got
use
it.
it like just a separation to separate the buyers from the sellers. Yeah, and it works really well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, David.
You're welcome, welcome. All right.
David, can you explain why we want the candles to be close to the green candles to be close to the moving average? Like when they're above, the further above they are, the better our profit, right?
Well, yes.
If we're going long.
Yeah, if you're going long, right? So this, if they separate, if it separates like here, right? It went far away from that moving average. Okay, right? So yes, you like that, but understand whenever it gets far away from that moving average, you're gonna be overbought. All right. So you guys are asking good questions. Okay, so if you guys look here, all right, and if it gets way overbought, what you can do, rather than taking profits, I don't like taking profits when it gets overbought like this, but let's say it gets overbought, like right here, makes a high, get really extended. All right, always anticipate. All right, so where most traders will chase it up in this area here, they look to buy. We know we got in here, right? All right, every time, and then it got extended here. So every time it gets extended, so it gets away from that moving average, anticipate a pullback. And we'll take a look at some of our Forex, our dollar pairs. They're doing very similar price action now. All right, so Bill, when that price really moves high, we do want that, right? And we don't want to get too excited, because we're going to get a pullback. We're going to get a pullback back to that moving average. We'll usually, so think of that moving, it's like a rubber band. It doesn't go up. That rubber band and that moving average works like a magnet, right? It's going to pull that price back every time it gets extended. Okay, just notice here. All right, every time it gets really overbought, right? No, it doesn't come back all the way down. Notice it's not coming all the way back. It's still in the markup phase. It's still trending up, but within the trend, all right? And we call this a channel. We can also call this a channel, right? Every time it gets really overbought, it's gotta come back down to that moving average. And that moving average works like a support, all right? So if you guys look here, right, if you look here, and we're getting a bit technical this evening, but it's good. So if you look here, every time we got extended here, right, got extended, got really overbought, price got made a high up here, and we came back down to the moving average. This is the green moving average right here. Right here, green moving average right here. And it usually coincides with support. Here's our support line right here. When you guys, what you guys can do, right? So when it pushes high like this, don't get too emotional, right? Just stay with it. Anticipate the pullback, right? To this moving average near support. And when you guys get really good, what you should be doing is you want to be buying more here. All right. here is an amazing buy signal. All right, because it's you're following the trend. Here is, you know, it's overbought. You're not gonna buy it when it gets overextended, because guess what? The price is higher here. So we want to wait for that pullback back to that moving average. I'm glad Yusef mentioned that, right? So back to that moving average. We don't talk about this a lot. We do talk about support, but that support is generally going to come in right at that moving average. Okay, same thing here. Got overbought, right? RSI, all right? So Charity, your RSI right here, here it is, right? So Bill, it's got really extended, gotten really extended. Guess what? Anticipate when it gets overbought, it has to come back down to that moving average, to that support right here. That's another great opportunity to buy, okay? To continue that trend, okay? This is a bit technical. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that's great. That's great information. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So rather than most traders, you know, they get excited, right? They're buying, trying to buy up in this area, and here it gets overbought. We don't do that, right? We wait. If we're in, we should be in the position already, right? And we should be waiting, anticipating that pullback, right? Back to that moving average, and then we can add more here. Okay, now it's a bit risky because we know if we add in near support, right, we could break support, right? Price could break support, sellers could come in like here, and we get a sell signal. But if we really pay attention, right, and we know we still have green candles, right, still holding support. It's a bit aggressive, but it's a great move. All right, and you're staying right with the price. So same thing here on the downside. That's why we can't get too anxious about the oversold. So if you guys look here, it was overbought for a long time before the price came down. It was overbought here, overbought here, overbought here, but the price still kept going up. All right, so if we look here, it's oversold here, right? Oversold here, but the price is still going down. So the reverse is true. So if we were going to short it, right? So if we were going to short it, right? Here it's oversold. We would wait for the buyers to come in, right? Look here. So our first position would have been here, right in here, to short, all right? To short, overbought, oversold. We would wait for that price to come back up, right? Come back up, right? In here, and then short it down again, all right? And here it's oversold. So we would wait for the price to move back up, okay? And then short it down again. All right, lower lows, all right, lower lows, lower highs. All right. All right. Good questions. Good questions on this. Let's take a look at, I wanted to talk about, I think that's enough on Bitcoin. We've bit up Bitcoin enough. All right. The dollar pairs in Monster Scalper. So as far as trends, right? So we really want to work on staying with the trends. So we know that the dollar pairs, a couple of dollar pairs closed today. All right. So who was it? Collis, I think. Yeah. Your trade closed in USD CNH right here. So that closed. So we should be out of that pair. I was surprised by this. Most of the other pairs are still in. All right. So let's see here. This one here closed, so USD SGD. So if you guys are in those two pairs, you should be out. Okay, you should be out. Anyone in any of the dollar pairs? Any of the dollar pairs? Bill, you still in the dollar pairs?
No, I jumped ship this morning.
You jumped on which one? Which one were you trading?
I was holding US dollar CAD and the dollar Mexican peso.
Oh, okay. What you got it on the 30?
No, on a 240, and they're still holding on a 240, but they really took a dive this afternoon after they announced the increase in what, the 0.75% interest rate.
Yeah.
I noticed everything kind of jumped quick.
Mm-hmm. So next time, do it on your 30. Don't just get out.
So, David, what I did do is I moved it. I got out of the two that I was in, and then I opened pound dollar, and that took a move too. It looked like everything with a dollar was moving this afternoon.
You went long pound dollar?
Yeah, on the 30.
On the 30. All right. Be careful. GBP USD. Okay. Be careful. So if you're trading it on the 30, make sure you get out on the 30. Okay, so if it gives a sell signal, remember it is still on the 240. It's on a markdown. It's on the markdown phase.
Yep.
So we'll see this a lot, right? So let's pull up on RSI. And I know it's hard to stay with these positions when the markets do this stuff. So you see, if you guys see here on the 240, it is oversold. So what you will find is that, see, it's in the markdown phase. All right, it's in the markdown phase. Let's bring in sell short signal. I'm glad you did this.
So, David, I have a question. If I got in on a 30 and eventually suppose we did get a buy signal on the 240, could I just follow it on the 240 or do I got to stay with a 30?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. So this is a counter trend trade. Okay, so it's a counter trend trade. So we're going against the trend. Okay, so can you do this? Absolutely. But you've got to know what you're doing and you've got to be quick. So if you look here, so look here, all the pound pairs are down. They're all down. They're all trending down. All right, and they've been trending down for a while. All right, so what we're doing here, we're going against the trend. And what will happen is that you guys will notice, yes, the price action, I look at the price action today like just noise, right? It's just noise. And what we want to do on, if the trade like call this trade closed, that's fine. She's got to get out of that trade. But if it hasn't closed on that 240, then we want to stay. If we got in on the 240, we want to stay with that trade because this is what could happen. Notice here, they're all trending down, the pound pair. So we can go here and we'll see here that it is oversold, right? So it's oversold right here on the 240. All right, oversold right here on the 240. And it was absolutely oversold on the 30 minutes. So your entry was on the 30 minute, right, Bill?
Yeah, I got him. I got it actually pretty close to the buy signal.
Okay. All right. So let's understand what's happening here. So not that you can't do this. We just have to be careful. Okay. So here it is. We oversold here on the 240. Clearly it's in the markdown phase, right? We got oversold here on the 30. You got in on the buy signal here, right? Now it's getting overbought here. All right. What could happen, just like we spoke about, right? On the long side, where the price is like a rubber band, right? It's gonna go down, become oversold, then it's gonna go back up to that moving average. And then what's gonna happen if it's in that markdown phase? What's gonna happen after it gets back to that moving average? What's gonna happen? Anyone?
I'm sorry, Dave, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah. So just like when we looked at Bitcoin, right? And we saw the price action kind of did like this, right? The price went up, right? Got overbought, right? Kind of moved back down to the moving average. What happened? Buyers came in and moved it up even higher, got overbought, right? And then moved it back down to that moving average, right? Right? And then kept on doing the same thing. Every time the price got to the moving average, right? When we are trending up, guess what? New buyers came in and pushed the price even higher. So with Bill's trade here, right? Look here, it's in the markdown phase. So the trend is down. So it's the reverse than this. See here, every time, right, got overbought. All right, buyers came in right here, pushed it back up, got overbought, right, came back to the moving average. Buyers came back in to continue higher. This price action here in the markup phase, in the uptrend, is the same. The price action works the same way in the downtrend in the markdown phase. Okay, so price is gonna get oversold. I want you guys to really think about this, right? So he's in this trade, it's oversold, right? But guess what? It's getting near that moving average, just like it did here. So what do you guys think will happen here?
Yeah, so it's gonna go, once it touches the moving average, the most likelihood is that it's gonna go back down.
It's gonna go back down.
Yeah, and also if there's divergences that can couple with that, it would even create a stronger confluence for that to happen.
Yeah. We don't talk about divergence a lot, okay? But so Bill, keep in mind that you are going against the overall trend. And so
Yeah, and I knew that when I opened it up this morning. I really didn't expect to be holding it by the end of the day. When I saw it, it was really close to the buy signal. And I was just home all day and I could watch it all day. I really didn't expect that it would be 7 o'clock at night and I'd still be holding on to it.
Yeah. So yes, can this turn bullish and just kind of go up, go straight up? Yes, I doubt it, right? Because what would have to happen here, right? What would have to happen to go bullish here? Anyone?
It
What
would
would
need to
have?
create a higher low. So when it pulls back, the low needs to be higher than the previous low.
Okay, yep. And what else? Anyone else? Anyone else? We
The-
need accumulation, right? So we need accumulation, right? We don't really have that yet. All right, we need accumulation, and then we need to break resistance to get a buy signal. All right, so we're still in selling territory. So I wouldn't recommend this. Can you get in? Can you get in? Absolutely. Can you get a decent trade out of this? It's risky, because every time we go against the overall trend, we going against this, right? We going against all of these sellers here. It's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
get it.
selling.
I get it.
All right. Can we do it? Absolutely. All right. But just know that if you do it, you're going against the overall trend. It's a counter trend trade. So you get a sell signal. Let's say price comes back down, breaks previous resistance, is now support. You have to get out, because if we don't get out, look at this. Look what you've got right behind you. Okay, so we don't have this behind us. We don't have buyers behind us, right? We have sellers coming in behind us. Now, this is a great setup, right? This is a great setup if we had a buy signal. So if we were in this area here, we had accumulation, we had big buyers come in, green candles, buy signal under 240. This is perfect. Okay, but this is risky. You just need to know that you have to get out quickly. If you play around, then you've got all these sellers behind you to continue this move back down. All right, this is just a pullback, right? A pullback to continue the overall trend down. Okay. Now, anything can happen? Yes, it can break out, but we don't trade on that, right? We don't trade on that. All right. Now, let's go back to the dollar CAD trade. All right. Now, we have to be careful not to get scared out of those trades. All right. So this is how we stay in the trades for weeks at a time. So dollar CAD is it's the second most trending pair. All right, this trade here is still intact. So let's pull up an RSI. Now, if you got in on the 30-minute, absolutely. If you got in on the 30-minute, it gave a sell signal on the 30-minute. So if you're trading in on the 30-minute, got a sell signal out, that's good. But if we trade in on the 240, if it has a buy signal, all right, no red candles. All right, if it's got a buy signal, we do not, that's why we want to use the system, right? Use the system, follow the system. Okay. So if we don't have any sell signal like Callis, right? Callis pair gave her a sell signal. We don't have any red candles. We don't get out. We don't get out. Okay, we have to hold on to the trade, because this is what can happen. All right, this is what can happen here. Now, I'm not saying this will happen, but it happens a lot, right? So we oversold right here. So when you guys are in your trades on the 240, it gets oversold. Like here is the high, right? I mean, I know we want to get out up here. That's not the way it works. Anticipate that pullback back to that moving average right here, because it's oversold. So you need to get out of oversold territory. It's going to pull back to that moving average, okay? And then hopefully get some new buyers to come in, right? To continue that move higher, all right? 1 day's worth of action, 1 day's worth of action, noise, we call this the noise, right? Normally doesn't change the overall trend. All right, just like here, 1 day's worth of action here is not going to change the overall trend. We're still going down. Someone had a question?
Yeah, so is this one of those examples where you would want to buy your next round of units?
Yes, absolutely. Now it is, you've got to be, you just have to know what you're doing, right? So when this happens like this, when it gets really extended, and Bill, you had mentioned this, right? When it gets extended, yes, it's going to get extended, and that's good. But what we want to do is we want to, when it gets extended, that means it's overbought. And what we want to anticipate or expect, it's going to happen a lot, is that pullback. It's going to pull back to that moving average, right? It's probably going to get a support. Here is your support right here. Pull back right to that moving average right here. And what we should be doing is seeing how it reacts here. So not getting out, right? Holding. See what the price does when it gets to that moving average, when it gets to support. Now, if it breaks support, we're good, right? It's going to give us a sell signal to get out, all right? Just like Colley's position, it's going to give us a sell signal to get out, right? If it doesn't give a sell signal to get out, all right, a couple of things can happen, right? So let's say prices rest here, it holds, right? It starts moving higher again. You can add to your position. What I really like is to get a white candle. So if we get a white neutral candle within the markup phase, within the trend, all right? So get a white candle and then a green candle and then a green bullish candle. I know that, hey, buyers are definitely back in, and now we can keep buying, kind of like this right here. White candle right here, green candle, we are moving higher. All right, so rather than getting scared out of the trade, right, anticipate, right? When we trade, guys, we're anticipating what's going to happen next. All right, so we're following that price. We know that we are overbought, and we don't even have to have the RSI to know that we are overbought. All right, all we have to look at, and Bill mentioned this, is that if it's far away from the moving average, the farther price gets away from the moving average, the more extended it gets. All right, the more overbought it gets. Just know that it's going to pull back to that moving average, right? Stabilize a bit, and then move higher. All right, this makes sense?
Can we look at the peso dollar pair? Because it looks similar, but it actually has a really big white candle right now.
Okay, let's see here.
It's the 240.
On the 240, okay. All right, and we'll end with this one. All right, so the Mexican peso. Okay, all right, this is a great example. All right, great example. All right. So here was your buy signal. So Charity, did you get in there the buy signal on the 240?
Yeah, it's interesting on your chart. It shows that the big white candle is green. And then there's a new white candle next to that. But yeah, I did get in on the buy signal.
Okay, okay. You don't have a white candle here?
I I do, but I also have that big long green one that you have is white on my screen, so
This one is white.
it might just not be fully updated or something.
Yeah, the data. Okay. So this is a good example here. So your entry was here, right? See how it got over, see how it got overbought right here, overbought, right? Because this here, it moved really far away from the moving average, right? So this is where it really got overbought. So always when it gets overbought, guys, when it gets overbought, the farther it gets away from that moving average, always expect, right, that the price will come back to the moving average. It has to. All right. Sometimes the moving average will move higher, right? So here, and then it might come back here. This is a big candle. This is a big move down. Sometimes it takes out time. So it takes a bit longer, right? If it takes longer for the price to move, then this moving average will move higher and get up in this area here. All right. But this is a pretty good setup here. You've got a white candle here. So based on this chart here, right? Here was our buy signal, break of this resistance. We know buyers are in control, markup phase. This is what you guys have to pay attention to. If we get a green candle here, so if this next candle here is green after this white candle right here, that's very, very bullish. That's very, very bullish.
Can you explain why that is? Is it because the buyers took over is after the white candle? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, you got buyers. A white candle is neutral, right? So we know that white candle is neutral, right? So if you guys see here, right, white right here is neutral. That says neutral. Okay, that says neutral. So white candle is neutral. So no one is in control by, and basically what it's doing right here, it's saying, okay, we are stopping. We're not bullish. We're not bearish. We're just holding the price right here. The next candle, if it's green, that means buyers are coming back in. And what we're doing is we have a continuation of that move. So we got buyers coming in, kind of like here, to push the price even higher. This is very, very bullish. And what it allows you guys to do, right, is rather than, so you've bought here, right, you keep holding your position. Don't get out. And I know it's hard because we're watching our P&L, right? Right? But try not to do that. Just watch what's happening with price, because guess what? You had your position here, right? It pulled back. So right, Charity, you in this. All right, it pulls back to the moving average. All right. Right. We know it's going to pull back to the moving average, right? Whether it's here, up here, wherever, right? It's gonna pull back. Watch for what happens here. Watch how the buyers react to price. Okay. Now, if we got a red candle here, sellers are coming in. Guess what? You've got just closed the trade. You don't even have to wait, right? So you don't even have to wait for your sell signal. You guys get a red candle, get out. That means the sellers are now back in control.
You mean after a white candle?
After a white candle, yeah, yeah. Just get out. Just get out. That's okay. That's okay to get out on a red candle, even without the sell signal. Just get out because sellers are coming in. But you get a white candle, right? Watch it. Wait for the candle to close, right? If you get a green candle, then you can add more to your position. So this candle here, Charity, this is big. I would watch this, right? See what happens, see how it closes. You wait for it to close, right? So this is on a forward time frame. It just opened. All right, so see what it does. Does it open, close green? All right, close white. If it close white, don't do anything. Continue to hold. If it close red, get out. All right, and this is what can happen. So you can see right here, this is what the RSI is doing. So it's moved from oversold, overbought rather, right? And right now it's kind of getting somewhat neutral. And then what could happen, it can start doing this again. All right, and then get back in overbought territory. But that overbought, while this is happening here, right? This is happening here. Guess what? The price is moving high again. By the time it gets overbought again, guess what? Your price is all the way up here. You guys understand that?
So, David, does that mean when it gets overbought and you get the green candle, can you get in, or you already need to be in?
Yeah, you absolutely need to be in. Yeah, we don't want to be getting in here when it's overbought. No. Yeah, you're gonna get this. And that's what most traders do, right? We chase the price, right? We usually we don't get in here. We get out after, we get in after the move. And then when it pulls back, we panic and then we get out.
No, at that green candle. So once you get the white candle, right? So you're neutral. And if you get a green candle, can you get in then or no?
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yes, but you've got to be, you're way away, you're away from it, right? So I would rather have your first position here, and then you can scale up. So you can add another position here. I wouldn't do your first position here. You're way out of, yeah. Gotcha. But you could add to your position. Yeah, this is a great opportunity to add. So this is how we use the moving averages. Okay. And what will happen, you guys will see this a lot where you might get a new support line form here. So you might get a new support, right? Watch it, watch how it reacts, and just wait, be patient, wait, right? The worst thing that can happen, okay, the worst thing that can happen is that you get a red candle, all right, you get a sell signal to get out. Okay, so part of this, we just have to be patient and just wait. And if you guys remember, and I'll end with this, right? This is how, when you do this, because if you get out, then the trade is over. You're out of it, right? And we don't want that, right? So, so let's take a look at pound yen. Was it pound yen? Yeah, that's a good example here. See here, here's a pullback near the moving average. Here is a pullback near the moving average. These were opportunities to add more. All right, here it got overbought. See here, it was overbought here, overbought here. So here, overbought here, right? Overbought here, right here. Overbought, pull back, right, to support, came close to that moving average, kept moving higher, overbought here, a little bit overbought here, came back to that moving average, kept on moving higher, really got overbought here, right here, overbought right here. Guess what? Here is our support line. Red candle came in. That's your big, right? Red seller right here. We got a sell signal to get out, right? All these pullbacks right here to that moving average, those were great opportunities to keep adding. We don't get out, okay, until we get a sell signal or a red candle, right? If we had gotten a white candle, all right, a white candle here, and then a green candle, right, that would have been a really good chance that the price would have kept moving higher and higher. All right, so feel safe. Don't be in a hurry to close these trades. All right, the system will not only the buy and sell signals, but the candles will give you clues. All right, and also the moving average. Okay, good job, guys. Good questions. Good questions. Use the system. Don't get scared out of the trade. So because Bill, you can't get into CAD anymore. You're done. All right. So let's say for instance, dollar CAD. So let's say it was dollar CAD, right? So let's say and it's not just about the money, it's following the process. Okay, that's what's key. It's following the process, because guess what? Let's say buyers come back in overnight and push this price even higher, and now you're out of it. Okay, and now this run here lasts another month, goes on, this trade goes on for a whole month. We don't know, right? But then you're gonna feel pretty bad that you got out of it. Okay, so I know it's hard to stay in these trades. Okay, if we're not sure, all right, we can always get on a smaller time frame. But when we do that 4-hour time frame, really try to stay with it. Okay, really try to stay with it, and be careful with these counter trend trades like this. Okay, because this is a lot of selling, and you'll get trapped. A lot of traders get trapped. These shorts, when you guys hear like Eric and Peter talking about the shorts that they do and the puts that they do, this is what they look for, right? And Zaire, they love this, because when the price does this, comes up, pulls back to that moving average, boy, they'll short it all the way back down. All right, so there are traders right now that are looking to slam this all the way back down and get you out of that trade here. Okay, so any pullback to that moving average is an opportunity to buy again, whether to buy to go short or go long. Okay, so good job, guys. Good job. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, we have an equities class tomorrow. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, good job. Good job. Take care.
Thanks, David.
Bye-bye.